What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be installing these deatschwerks EV14 550cc injectors into the Miata. This is actually video 4 in my Turbo Miata series. If you haven't seen the last 3 videos, go ahead and check those out because you can get caught up on the whole turbo build situation, what is going on with my Miata. But today, all I'm going to be doing is these injectors. Let's go ahead and get these bad boys open real quick. So I picked these up on Fly Miata for a little less than 400 bucks, I think. These are going to give my engine enough fuel to be able to support the amount of air that the turbo is pushing through it. So let's get out there and get these in the car. So before anything can actually happen, I need to release the pressure in the fuel system so when I pull the fuel reel off, it doesn't just piss fuel all over the place. So to do that, all I have to do is have the car started like it is right now, and then come down here. I need to pull out the fuel pump relay thingy. Okay, I didn't even realize that my camera stopped recording when I unplugged the relay. But anyways, it was kind of a pain in the dick to find because of this clusterfuck of wiring down here from this aftermarket security system. Now, this was actually installed before I bought the car, so I'm not gonna fuck with this. I don't wanna accidentally disable my car. So now that the fuel pump relay is unplugged and there's no more pressure in that side of the, on that side of the fuel pump, we're just gonna come here. We're gonna open the gas cap. And now all of the pressure in the entire fuel system is released, so I can now safely go work on that side and not have fuel splatter out everywhere and get on everything. Okay, so from here, I kind of have to just take a lot of this apart and just get everything out of the way so I can actually fit my hands in there and pull everything out. Okay, so now that all that random bullshit's out of the way, I can get to taking the injectors out. So first, I'm gonna just hop in here with some pliers and unplug all of them. So now that the injectors are unplugged and the ambulance is passed, I'm gonna go through and just clip all of these zip ties because they're really fucking annoying. And I want that shit out of the way. Okay, so now we're gonna pull off the fuel rail with these 3, I wanna say 14mm bolts, I'll find out. But we're gonna take those 3 bolts off. And you gotta be really careful because between this bracket and the block where it bolts onto, there's a little spacer, and those are really easy to lose. So be careful about those when you take off those bolts. So now that the fuel roll is completely off, the entire fuel roll will just pop out with the injectors out from the block. Now, if you really wanted to, you can finagle those out, like finagle the whole fuel rail out, and those actually come out with that line and that line, which are hooked up to hard lines down there. But I'm not going to do that because that's a lot of extra effort that I don't want to go through. So what I'm going to just do from here is just pull out all the injectors one by one while the rail is still mostly in place here. Okay, well, I still got gasoline all over my hand, but the injectors kind of just pop out because they're held in by this little O-ring right here. I'm going to grab some towels so I don't get fuel all over the side of my engine. So yeah, here's, that is very out of focus. At this point, you also want to be very careful not to get anything into your cylinders because now that you've pulled the fuel injectors out, there's basically just holes straight into your cylinders, so you don't want to get any shit in there. Okay, so now that the ports are clean, everything is ready, it's time to throw in the new injectors, which are completely out of focus. So to get these injectors prepped, all we're gonna do is take it here and get some of the super lube that came with them. And we're just gonna put this around this top O-ring right here, which is what seals it into the fuel rail. You want a solid coverage of lube on this side of the injector. And I'm gonna go ahead and just rub this around with my fingers just to make sure all of this top part is sealed and has good lube on it. So now that that's done, this is covered in lube. My fingers are covered in lube. We're just gonna take this and we're gonna shove it back in the fuel rail. Okay, so now the injectors are seated properly into the fuel rail. We're going to take these 3 bolts with the spacer that you haven't lost, and we're gonna shove these back in. And then while these are sitting properly in place, we have to finagle the whole fuel rail in each fuel injector until they all sit in properly. We're going to be using these adapter pigtails because the connector on the fuel injectors are different than the connectors that came on this harness. So now that the injectors are in the car, real quick, I have to hop into Megasquirt and then change some settings to let the ECU know that we have bigger injectors so it knows how much fuel to actually be dumping through them. Okay, cool. So now that the tuning's done, all I'm gonna do is start the car and stare at the engine bay just to make sure there's no fuel leaks. I don't have fuel just pissing out of my engine bay. All right, and that looks perfect. So that's it, that's the injectors. Well, looks like something's fucked up. Yeah, so now my air-fuel ratio is not exactly where it's supposed to be. We're running a little lean at idle, which is not supposed to be happening with this tune that I've set up. But I assume it's because I didn't have the right number for the stock injectors. Anyways, we got the injectors in. If you're not subbed already, definitely sub, because like, we're getting very close to turbo time. And if you haven't seen the rest of the videos in this series, definitely go back and check those out. There's a lot of cool information, a lot of cool content in those videos. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you liked the video. Drop a comment letting me know what else you want to see done. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Dang it.